Our granddads would turn in their grave to see what's happening today.
You might as well take them off the list next election because Conservatives will never get back in, they're finished.
If you could give the government one message, what would it be?
I think it's stop handing out benefits to those that don't really need them, because a lot of them are just spending the money on alcohol or drugs, and start giving it to the people that do need it.
I do get £11 a day, the same as what anyone that comes up on the beach get. But I don't get my rent paid, I don't get my food, and this is what puts me off of voting Conservative. Someone's got to do something.
Do you vote Conservative?
Yes,
Why do you vote Conservative?
because I feel like I'm better off than an awful lot of people. I'm a pensioner, so I only live on a basic pension, but I was always taught to manage on whatever money I'd got.
Why is there such big support for the Conservatives, do you think?
I'm not sure that there is anymore.
Really? Why is that?
I just don't think the Conservatives are living up to everything that they promised.
I vote Conservative because I'm self-employed. So if you wanted to stay in a job, you had to be Conservative.
Whereas now I think a lot of people have never had to work or never have worked, not had to, but never have worked. They are more Labour inclined because they see Conservatives as better off. Whether we are or not is a different story.
You might as well take them off the list next election because Conservatives will never get back in, they're finished. Yeah, they can take the House of Lords with them and all. Just a waste of time. And the biggest thing that makes me laugh about this mayor, he wants the fumes off the road, but he wants to legalise cannabis.
To be fair, I don't even know if I'll vote next time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you vote last time?
I did.
Did you vote Conservative?
I did.
Why did you vote Conservative last time?
Because I liked what they stood for. I feel a bit let down with the Boris situation. I also appreciate that it was unprecedented and no one had ever been through anything like this before. But it's the fact that sometimes they treat the general public, and I think all MPs do it, as if we've not got brain. If he'd have said did the wrong thing, I shouldn't have allowed the parties, he'd still been in power, because I think he was a good leader.
If Boris was still in charge, would they get your vote?
I think he would.
And Mr Hunt and Mr, is it Fishy Sunak or something his name?
Rishi Sunak.
Yeah, well, they stitched Boris up. We didn't have all this going on. And they stitched him up because he delivered Brexit. And now eventually they're trying to push us back into that. This is not England no more. We've always had foreign people here. It's nothing to do with racism. They keep saying that. It's wrong. When I went to London as a boy, Turkish, every nationality, we've always got on. But when people keep blowing the trumpet about things, and we're now the second-class citizens in this country. It's silly, really, isn't it? What else can you say?
I've always voted Conservative, but I'm not sure this time. Forget COVID. No one knew that was coming. Could anyone done any better? I don't know, because we're never going to see it in our lifetime again. But I think they're going down the wrong road. They're more for the richer.
As a parliamentary constituency, it's been Conservative. It has been as long as I can remember. It's not because it's a middle class or above area. In fact, it's probably completely different. It's more working class, working people constituency. But a lot of that came from people that moved here during the building boom. So a lot of these people that are from working backgrounds are tradesmen. Yeah. So obviously tradesmen and free trade and free businesses and that seems to be more of a Conservative issue than it is a socialist issue, if you see what I mean.
Do you vote Conservative?
That's for me to say. Okay. But yeah. So I'm not going to say who I vote for because that's my issue. But
if you weren't to vote Conservative, what would you vote?
Well, you can't vote Labour, can you, with that idiot in charge? I mean, what's he going to do? I don't think Labour can help us. I don't know who you can have in, mate. I really don't know.
But I do think there's a lot of things that need to be addressed and that aren't being addressed.
What would you like to see addressed?
The immigration problem that we've got coming across the channel, it's costing 7 million, so I'm told, a day. That could all go into the NHS. and I think I don't know how they're going to do it, but obviously some of these are young men and they shouldn't be here because they're not where they come from. There's not a war zone. Ukraine is totally different. Yes, we must welcome them.
How has Canvey changed in the past 10 years?
Well, it's much more built up than it was now. A lot of people, like I say, have moved to the island and they've become islanders. So the population is slightly different than it was when I was growing up. And there's been an influx of, like everywhere in the country, an influx from people from different ethnic backgrounds. And I don't know if you are aware, but recently there's been a big influx of Orthodox Jews from London. So that sort of thing happens to a lot of towns. If you go to the east of the country, you've got lots of people from Eastern Europe, etc. So I think it's been a benefit to the island, and that it's more diverse. So really, it's just really. I think it's got to a situation now where there's enough people on the island now for the services and facilities to cope with.
You know, I've been self-employed all my life. I've been off work 2.5 years. I don't get any money because I'm self-employed, and I've got over 16,000 in the bank, so they don't pay me nothing. I'm not entitled to it. But now, I do get £11 a day, the same as what anyone that comes up on the beach get. But I don't get my rent paid, I don't get my food, and this is what puts me off of voting Conservative. Someone's got to do something.
And, you know, there's a lot of homeless here, people are struggling, food banks on the island, you know, young families that work hard, you know, they don't know how they're going to heat their homes or whether they're going to eat, and then we're putting people up in hotels. It's not right. It's not right.
450 people got off boats at Dover on Sunday. Just for the benefits. That's why they're coming here. France is empty. Go to Bordeaux, Dijon, all around there. Miles and miles of places they could live. They don't get benefits, so they come here.
I mean, we were a rich company years ago when I was younger. We owned British Telecom, we had British Gas, we owned Dartford Tunnel. We've sold it all off to foreign nationalities. And they're the ones that are profiting now. I mean, we sold BT off making something like 60,000 an hour or a minute, and we sold it. Who would sell a business that's making that type of money? Would you sell it? No. But we sold it, and we sold it to the French, I think, wasn't it? You know, I don't know, you know, it's just ridiculous. The French own half of that now. You know, I mean, I really don't know what they're going to do. And I don't think Conservatives can even sort it out because there's too much arguing going on in there. You know, some want this, some want that, you know. You should do what that man says. When we vote for Conservatives and you say to me you're going to change these roads, that's what I'm voting for. But you don't do it. You do what you want to do. You're not doing what they said. You know, they're supposed to put the pensions up with the inflation. They keep cutting it off. They're going to do it this time because they know full well if they hadn't done it this time, there'd been an uproar in this country. But they've stopped it every year. But they agreed that when they got in. But they haven't done it. It's the first time they've done it. You know, these poor people, you know, the poor pensioners, they've got nothing, mate. You know, I mean, I worked all my life. My father said to me when I was 15, get out, because I'm not keeping you. Today you've got these young girls, they go out, have 3 or 4 kids and never work in their life. But we have to keep them. You know, and I had a young fella say to me, why should I be paying for your pension? Well, I paid my national insurance tax all my life, mate. I paid for my own pension. You ain't paying for it.
And then if you could give the government one message, what would it be?
I think it's stop handing out benefits to those that don't really need them, because a lot of them are just spending the money on alcohol or drugs, and start giving it to the people that do need it. Those that are homeless, those that are disabled. Yeah.
Our granddads would turn in their grave to see what's happening today. You know, you go over Izzy's, across there, cup of coffee, £3. Come on, mate, it's 1 spoonful of coffee and a bit of water. It ain't cost you 10p, but you're charging me £3.50 or £3. Where's the logic in it? You know, look, them people are getting away with it all. You know, the government ain't interested. You know, they're going to put diesel up next year. They reckon it could be up to 12 pence a litre. They're going to put tax on it.
Because the last few years we have had a lovely time, really, and then it's just all gone pear-shaped now.
The last few years have been good.
Well, it seemed to be, you know, when you talk to people and stuff like, look what everyone's charging, look what building materials are costing. Stupid. Stupid. They need people to sit down, conscientious people want to do the job. Too many, I'm not sorry about the word, but there's too many drama queens out there as well. You know, if you went up to someone and asked them a time they collapse, they've had a heart attack because you startled them, all like this, and I might have raised my voice. Ain't my world.